Contest entry time. Am I a comic book nerd? Is the contest question here. I was tagged by the one and only Asian Funk, one of my favorite channels. And yeah, it's like a 23 question questionnaire. And we're going to get right down to the bottom of it, brother. Is Comic Kid 84 a comic book nerd? Let's see how it goes. Question number 1. Have you ever nitpicked a book over its condition? Yeah, I suppose I have. When it's like a bigger dollar amount book, I'm shopping. Yeah, you got to consider condition. If it's a bigger book, if you're going to spend a decent amount of money on it. It's amazing what a grade will do to the price. That was one of the things that I had to really get acclimated to when I first got back into collecting. You can't just say that something is that's a $100 book. Oh man, this is a $5,000 book. A $5,000 book could also be a $100 book in low grade. Etc. Shit like that. So, yeah, if you're, buying some of these bigger books, you damn well better nitpick the condition. Boom. Number 2, have you ever sniped anyone on eBay? No, I'm a fucking snipe victim. That's what I am. I'm always the snipe victim. I'm trying to get cute when it's 10, 9, 8. I'm like, oh, I got this, dude. I got this. Bam! Sniped, bro. They JFK me every time. So yeah, I'm always the snipe victim. Sadly, I don't think I've ever successfully sniped anyone on eBay. Question number 3: have you ever paid over $100 for a book? Oh yes, indeed, I have. The number 4: have you ever complained about specking and flipping of comics? I don't think so. I don't think complain is the right word. I don't think I've ever complained about it. These flippers, man, they're really ruining things, and these fucking speckers, man. Sometimes I'll kind of laugh at their expense, these some of these speckers are in for a rude awakening, etc. But no, it doesn't bother me. Flipping, specking. Enjoy the hobby as you will. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really bother me. I guess the one time that an instance that I might complain about specking is I'm trying to think of an example of a book. But when I would want a book on New Comic Book Day, and I know that somebody who was trying to flip that book would come in and wipe out the racks. Within 15 minutes of a freaking store opening, all the copies are gone. From just 2 people wiping it out so they can flip it online. That's annoyed me a couple times. God damn it, bro. But that's the game. What are you going to do? Number 5. Have you ever given or received a comic as a gift? Not really in, only AOKs, put it that way. In my offline experience prior to this YouTube, no, I don't think anyone's ever given me a comic as a gift. I have given comics as a gift. My brother's a big Spider-Man fan, so I remember I gave him a Secret Wars 8, and he has it framed on the wall in his man cave. My niece and nephew, I give them comics sometimes. My friends' kids, I give them some comics. So as far as that goes, but on YouTube, hell yeah, AOKs, man. Shit happens all the time. I've sent out a bunch of AOKs. I've received crazy AOKs. Shout out to Simeon, Stone Cold Steve Whiting, The Dawn, Kavi, NYC. In fact, it happens so frequently in this community. I have I have a box that I keep, and the sticker on it is AOKs. So like, yeah, I keep all my AOKs in a separate box so they don't get jumbled in. So like, shout out to J Hood Creative with some signed Warren Ellis. Let me see. Shout out to Biggie Shack. Shout out to Norrin J. Powell. Shout out to Steve, Geeks, Drinks, and Comics. Who else are we going to shout out to? Biggie Shack, some more Biggie Shack books in here. Geeks. Shout out to Metarog. Yeah, the list, the list is there. There's a bunch of people that have hooked up your boy. So appreciative. So yeah, amazingly, I actually have received comics as gifts. So cool. Next, what's the next question? Next question is, as an adult, have you ever decorated your home in comic paraphernalia? I guess so. Only my comic book storage room, which if you keep tabs on my stuff recently, I'm just working on a project now to finally get like a comic book wall thing going. And yeah, in that room that I keep all my stuff, there's comic book paraphernalia. But I'm not the type of guy that puts like comic book paraphernalia throughout the house, like my living room and kitchen and shit doesn't have a bunch of comic book stuff on it. I kind of want to keep it relegated to the comic book room. You know what I mean? Number 7. This one's a doozy. Have you ever skipped work to read or buy comics? No. Negative. Hell no. If you have, get your priorities straight, brother. You flaking out on work so you can read comics or even buy comics? God, dog. I'd be curious to see who can answer. There could be a good reason. I guess if like you had this rare opportunity and this guy wanted to sell you this X-Men 1 Grail book and you had to whatever, but if you just like, it's Wednesday and I'm really excited for House of X #1, dude. I've been so waiting for it, and you fucking call out sick of work to go get that book. If I was your boss and I found out, I would fire your ass so quick. I'd say, pack your bags, buddy. Go enjoy your comics. Number 8. Have you ever paid to go to a con? Yeah, I paid to go to a con. I went to, Chicago. I paid, air flight, hotel. This is a recent phenomenon. Me paying, like, accommodations to travel to a con. I even paid to go to a con that I won free tickets to. Figure that one out. That's a good one. Number 9. Have you ever paid to get an autograph /photo/sketch? Yes. I'm not a big autograph signature guy, so I don't get many of them, but this is one. Peter Laird, one of the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was at a local con here a couple years ago, and I did get him to sign a couple books for me. So that one, I paid for that. Just because I felt like it was kind of a rare thing, and, whatever, I went for it. But for sketch, yes. I commissioned, the first, official commission that I ever did was Sean Daly, the artist from Ogre. I think that's a Source Point Press book, Ogre. I sent him 2 blanks, and he did me Galactus on this Fantastic Four, which is badass. He included the rough outline pencil of it, and then I sent him a blank Street Fighter, and I said, just do whatever you want. And he did that sick-ass Blanca. Hell yeah. So that was my first ever, commission. And then first, and then also my Batman Blank sketch project book, ventriloquist cover edition. And yeah, if you don't know, every time I go to a con, I have different artists from the artist alleys add a different Batman villain to a different page. Bob McLeod. Um, these one here. This one's from Chicago. Newligan did that Zaz. So yeah, I'm down for commissioning for a sketch for sure. Number 10. Have you ever bought multiple copies of a book? Well. Well. Yes, I have, brother. Yes, I have. Number 11. Have you ever bought multiple covers of a book? Yeah, I used to do it a lot with Batman. When I was following Detective Comics and Batman every week on New Comic Book Day, I was buying the A cover and the B cover every time. So I have a section of that run that I have both the covers, but I don't really do that as much. So I've done it before, but it's not my thing. Number 12. Have you ever complained that you need to downsize your collection for space? I have contemplated. I haven't complained. Not a big complainer. I have contemplated downsizing my collection, not so much for space, more for quality over quantity is where my head has been at with that. But I got a decent amount of space for it. Number 13. Have you ever sent in a book for grading? Yes, I have. Just started getting into this YouTube community is what got me into that world. I had never done it before that. So as of like 2 years ago, I started submitting books for grading. Yes, I have. I've done, if you count on-site grading, like four different CGC submissions in my collecting career. Number 14. Have you ever sent in a book for cleaning or pressing? Yes, I have. Shout out to DS Comics. Best in the game. Worth every penny. Number 15. Have you ever bought chases or store exclusives? I don't know what a chase is. I think that's a piece of furniture. And I don't own a chase. But a store exclusive, I think I have. I'm not a big, variant guy necessarily. It'll usually be it's a I have to have it situation. But I don't routinely buy a lot of variants. And honestly, I don't even know if they're store exclusives or not. I think this one was. This Mark Brooks Virgin one. I think this was a Comics Elite thing. So I think that classifies as a store exclusive. Meaning they were the only one that had it? I don't know. I'm not into this world too much, so I don't even really know sometimes if something's a store exclusive or it's just a variant. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Number 16. Have you ever traded comics? Yes. Pretty much just once. I think I've only done it once. Shout out to Spidey Fan. My man, my boy, Spidey Fan, is the reason that I have this beautiful speaking of Mark Brooks, my Grail Mark Brooks variant of Astonishing X-Men, Pumped, DGC Slab, sold separately. Great, it came back at 10, dude. So, yes, I traded a comic for this, and beautiful. So, yes, I have traded a comic, just that one time. Number 17, have you ever waited to get tickets to a comic book movie? I feel like that's a dated question. Waited to get tickets. Do people wait to get tickets anymore? I always buy my shit on, Fandango, online ahead of time. And then even growing up, I don't think I've ever waited in line. I don't think there's ever been a line. But if there was one, and I was going to the theater and I really wanted to see, like, Endgame or some shit, I suppose I would wait in a line. But I don't think I have. Number 18. Have you ever gotten into a fight / physical altercation because of comics? No. I've never had to throw down because of comics. Everything's usually a fucking joyous occasion when comics are involved. So, no comic book physical beef. Yet. Son, watch yourself at the LCS. Number 19. Have you ever trolled online / got into a post-war over comics? Hey, I'm no stranger to a good troll online. You know, I do dabble in the Reddits. I've trolled some motherfuckers on things like Reddit and whatnot. You know, recreational trolling. I don't know if it was on stuff to do with comics, though. I've trolled motherfuckers on, like, MMA forums and stand-up comedy forums are the two that I'll fuck with people on. But not in the comic community. I try to keep it pretty fucking sacred ground, because everyone's so nice. Those other communities can have, like, a lot of dingleberries, you know? But my experiences, it's been pretty cool, and I've never had, like, you know, anything like that, really. I troll my boys sometimes, a lot of times, in different Instagram chats and text chats. But I don't know if that counts, because that's just ribbing your buddies. Number 20. Have you ever dressed up as an adult as a comic book character? That's a negative. I've never cosplayed. My brother has a legit full Spider-Man costume. He looks pretty good in it. He's trying to convince me to go with him somewhere dressed up. I toyed with the idea of dressing up as Gambit because I felt like might be one of the less ridiculous things. Not less ridiculous, because I love cosplay. I would feel less ridiculous because I think Gambit looks kind of cool. I wouldn't mind rolling around with a little trench coat, Mon Ami, with some playing cards. Like, I might consider cosplaying as, like, someone like Gambit. But as of yet, I have not dressed up as a comic character. Number 21. Have you ever lied about collecting comics? No. No. I've never lied about collecting comics. But there's definitely been scenarios where I haven't, like, made a point to offer up that information. You know, I don't know if omitting information is the same as lying. I don't think it is. But no, anyone ever in this world who has asked me, hey, you like comics? You collect comics? I'll be damned if I say, no, I don't. What, comics? What, like comic books? Like things with the superheroes in it? No, I don't. Hell no, I would never do that shit. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I do. What's up? Number 22. Have you ever flipped or specced? Oh yeah, brother. You know I've done a little flipping. But the flipping that I've done is like, not so much like specking on a new comic book day, like hot book thing, and then it spikes and then I sell it. It's, for me, when I think of flipping comics, I just always think of like buy low, sell high. Like bought a collection off somebody or found some books really cheap and then I sold them high. But I feel like a lot of times people say flipping, they mean something else. They mean like you were that guy that was there on New Comic Book Day. When they opened, snagged up a bunch of books, then you put them on eBay later that day and you flipped them. I've never done really that kind of shit. But yeah, buy low, sell high? Sure, why not? Number 23, last but not least, I have a visual prop for this, is have you ever bought a figure / statue of a comic character? Technically, yes, but not much. Like I have some statues, but they've mostly been gifts to me. The amount of things that I've bought are pretty minimal. This Thanos bank, I bought this. Amazing. Dude, $29.99. Don't sleep on these banks. Because they're like, to me, this is just as good as like a statue bust. So, I bought that. I have like just a handful of pops, you know. Got my little Magneto pop. So I got that. I got this Kingdom Come Joker that chills on my bookshelf. And this big kahuna right here. I don't know if this counts because it's a cartoon character, but my Lion-O Thundercat figure. Oh! So, boom. That's it. 23 questions. Shit, I didn't tally it. I'm going to edit this, so I'll be right back with my tally. This just in. Breaking news. There were 2 questions that I forgot to answer on the list. I thought 23 questions sounded uneven. I thought it was weird. There's 25 questions. So I'm going to answer those 2 real quick. Number 24 was, have you ever cried / got angry while reading a comic book? I will say, I have never cried reading a comic. I don't know, for some reason, I felt the emotional goal that the writer had. You know what I'm saying? I'll really grasp what they were kind of trying to convey, and I'll feel it, but not to the point where I've shed a tear. So that answer would be no. I've cried during some movies, though. Number 25 was, do you have a comic book related tattoo? As a matter of fact, I do. Galactus, Silver Surfer, boom. So that's a yes. So the math is still the same. It was 10 negative, 15 affirmative. Still came to like a 66%. Back to the video. So 64% is, because what's passing on a test? 65? I think when I was in school, 65 was the minimum you could get. That was like a D. And if you go below 65, you got an F. So I guess I passed with a D. I don't know what this means, but I got a D, I think. 64%. So I guess that means I'm like a little more towards the comic book nerd, but I'm not all the way maxed. I don't fucking know what it means. Whatever. This was really fun. I had a blast. Thank you so much for the tag, Asian Funk. And I'm going to tag some people. I sent the tag, I forget how many, but I'm going to tag the immortal Biggie Shack. I'm going to tag D-Runk Comics, JP Budget Collecting, Kavi Comic Books NYC, and this one's going to be a long shot, but my last 2 are going to be long shots, but fingers crossed. Bear Island Comics. Come on, brother. You can do it. I'll expect your submission in 6 months, but I'll still accept it. That would be great. And lastly, one man who's never done a contest entry in his whole career, his whole comic career. That's how rude he is. Leader of the RWO, the rude boy himself, Chad 90MF Comics. I tag you to take this quiz and answer these questions. And he's been hounding me for an intro, to make him an intro. But I'm like, dude, you've never made a pre-recorded video. So how am I going to make you an intro if you don't do pre-recorded? So anyway, you make this entry, 90, for this video, this contest, and I'll make you the intro for it. How's that? Thanks for watching. Peace.